brushes today, and this is pretty much a brush set that I've had for 9 months. It's one of my first full brush sets with eye brushes and face brushes, and it's the e.l.f. Studio brushes, and it comes in a little pouch like this. I can't remember if I got it at a drugstore, at elf.com or eyes-lips-and-face.com. I can't remember, but so far I'm going to talk about this kit as a whole. When I usually do kits like this, I do talk about them individually, but over at the end I will talk about it as a whole and whether I recommend it for anybody, everybody, beginners, intermediate, advanced, and all that other stuff, and talk about the good and the bad. So that's what we're going to talk about. I love that it comes in this pouch. This pouch is pretty durable. I like that you can use it and you can travel with it. This is what the inside looks like. So you actually get extra pouches. It doesn't come like this, but you can't fit other brushes in here, and then the face brushes are like on this side. So we're going to start with the face brushes. The first one is going to be the ever so popular e.l.f. powder brush. It's like a kabuki flat top brush. Sigma has them, Sedona has them, Delium has them. Every pretty much brand of brushes has some type of flat top kabuki style brush like this. The ferrule is attached to the handle, and for e.l.f. brushes, that can be kind of notorious, especially with their face brushes, for the ferrule to become disconnected from the actual handle. But this is what it looks like. In the kit, I find that compared to the individual, the one I brought individually, and it's supposed to be, let's see, the ferrule has disconnected from the body. I do have another one somewhere. I can't remember where I put it. I think, you know what, I'm sorry, I gave that one to my sister, and this one I kept. And then there was another one I brought that the bristles were coming out of it. So yeah, that was a hot mess. Anyway, I brought this. This is what the individual looks like, and this is what the kit looks like. So yeah, this is what happened to this one. It still works. The bristles aren't coming out, and the bristles haven't come out of this one. This one doesn't shed, but that's something to kind of keep in mind, that yeah, the ferrule may come disconnected from the handle. It's a soft brush. It works really good for mineralized powders, or if pressed powders too, and loose powders, for buffing it in and giving kind of that, you know, invisible pore, seamless type of look, airbrush look. Are there better brushes out there that give a better effect? Yes, there are. This isn't the best of them, but for the price point and the overall finish that it gives, this is worth the money. It's just $3. So this is what it looks like. No shedding. It does take a little while to dry, and it does work well also on liquid as well. So speaking of no shedding hairs, oh, there's one shed hair. It didn't shed on me before, so this is the first time I actually seen a shed hair. So that was one shed hair that I just plucked out. So much for not shedding. I guess it does shed a little, I guess, if you consider that shedding. Next one that I absolutely love, that I have like, altogether I have 3 of these. This is the Complexion Brush. It's pretty much a powder brush. It's comparable to like the Sigma as far as size. Maybe the F20 comparable in size. And maybe another Sedona brush. I think it's the Sedona 985. I think that's 985. It's not 985. I'll put it across the screen exactly what brush number it is. It's soft. Is it uber duper soft? No. Does it shed? No. Does it wash nicely? Yes. Is the ferrule disconnecting? No. Had the other ones disconnected from the ferrule? No. And I use this even in between testing out brushes. I do use this. Say for instance, I need a clean brush to take off excess powder, or to buff in mineralized skin finish, or anything like that. This is what I go to. I still use it. It's an excellent brush. One of my favorite from e.l.f. next to the angled powder brush that I like so much. This is excellent. Here's the another one I have of it. And here is the kit one. And here is the individual one. So I'm noticing a trend that the kit one has longer handles. That's very interesting. So I had another one around here. I may have given that one to my sister too. I can't remember. Just giving all my stuff away. She needed a powder brush, and she needed a kabuki brush or something like that for for something. But anyway, maybe I think I did give it to her. Anyway, so it's soft. It's a good brush. I recommend the blush brush. Blush brush has a tapered type of pointed end. It's a little bit fluffier here, but it's got a nice taper to it. This works very well for blush. It gives a nice application. It doesn't pick up a crap load of product, but it picks up just enough. The ferrule has become disconnected from this, so you have to kind of be careful. Doesn't mean that yours will or ever will, but just kind of keep that in mind with e.l.f. brushes. It is soft. Is it the most softest? No, but it will work in a pinch for blush and for highlight if you use the tapered end right here. Next brush is the foundation, angled foundation brush. I didn't care for this for foundation. I think it left too many streaks, but I did use it for cream products to place my cream contour, especially the darker part of my contour. It works lovely for that. It's really precise, and it actually works pretty decent for contouring the nose if you're using cream products. Even a little bit of powder products, it worked pretty decent with that. So it's an okay brush. It's stiff. It's got a nice little tapered end here, and it picks up the right amount of product, but I don't like it for like applying all over foundation, because I felt that was a little bit streaky, or I'd have to work a little bit more with it. So I didn't really care for it for that, so I used it more so for cream. The next one and the last one of the face brushes is the fan brush. This little teeny guy right here that you think wouldn't be able to do crap actually does very well with doing highlight above the cheeks, T-zone right here. Also works well with blending out brush and also applying brush. If you want to slide it across the brush like this and then go like that, it works actually very well. It's good at picking up the product and placing it on the skin, and very little of the product is left on the brush, so I really do like that. So I still use this one's really good for highlighter. I use it more so for highlighting. The last bit here, the last set, are the eye brushes, and I'm going to tell you which ones are my favorite. This one right here by far is my favorite eyeshadow C brush. Really great for placing shadow, also for lightly blending upwards the shadow above the eye. Really good patting it on, spraying on fixed spray or some kind of misting spray, putting it in pigment or anything like that. Mineralized eyeshadow and putting it on works excellent. Transfers all the eyeshadow, transfers 8 times out of 10. It transfers all on your eyes. So I do like this brush. I still use it. The next one I like is the contour brush. I don't know why it's called a contour brush. Maybe you can contour your nose, and right here I didn't use that ever for that. I used it for blending out the crease, and it works lovely for that. Not so much placing the product, but just blending it out once you've placed it. It works lovely for that. Really do like that for that one. This one is the concealer brush. This stunk as a concealer brush. I think it ate too much product. It works in a pinch, but I think that you'll find yourself using more concealer than necessary because it eats a lot of the product. But I do use it for eyeshadow, and I think it works really lovely for eyeshadow. And that's what I use that one for. The other ones that I really didn't get that much use of that I tried to use were the small smudger brush, the small angled brush, and the small precision brush. Now they work good like for applying like a little bit of brightener shadow in the inner corner of your ducts. This one, as far as like putting eyeliner above your eye like a gel eyeliner, I didn't like it because it's not tightly packed and some of the hair splayed out, so I didn't really like that because it dragged. It didn't really make a really precise line. This one worked good for gel eyeliner. It works okay for smudging. I didn't really reach for this one I didn't reach for these two as much. This one, out of all 3 of them, I reached for the small smudger brush the most, especially if I wanted to get right under the eyeline and apply powder. Now this one, I didn't like the small angled brush. You can use it for your eyebrows, but I didn't really care for it for anything else other than I did try it on a gel eyeliner. I didn't care for that. It was just kind of a hot mess. And then the small precision brush, this would be good for applying right here a brow bone highlight. I did use it for that, and it worked really well for that. So that is the whole kit. It is $30, but I highly recommend that you wait for a sale on e.l.f. or on drugstore.com, especially e.l.f. Get it from Eyes, Lips, and Face. I think that's the best place to get it from. Wait till they have a sale and get it then. I think for me personally, $30 was too much for this. I think it was more in the $25, $20 range. I could live with it. But I definitely wait for a sale for that. But it is, overall, as a kit, it's a really good kit. I think it's good for beginners. I think if you're someone who's been in the game long enough and you want a really nice set of brushes for intermediate to beginner, or luxury brushes or anything like that, any kind of like really well made brushes, this is not for you. But if you're a beginner, you're just getting into makeup and you don't want to spend a hell of a lot of money on brushes because you're not for sure if you like brushes or you like sponges, or you want to use your fingers, or you want to use an airbrush kit, or whatever your taste may be, this is a good kit to start out with to kind of feel out what kind of brushes you like. Do you like the kabuki brush? Do you like the powder brush? Do you like fan brushes? Do you like foundation brushes? This is a good way to start, to get an idea of what you may or may like. And I think this was a good kit for me. Are there some that I still use? Absolutely. I still use this one. I still use this one. This one isn't... on occasion, I still use this one. I use a pointer foundation brush that's not with the kit. I still use that one. And I use this one, the Angled Elf blush brush. Excellent. I still use this one on occasion. I use this one. And I use this one. I don't grab for them or reach for them all the time. But when I do, when I need an extra brush to blend out something or apply more powder or whatever, I do tend to go for the Elf brushes. Versus busting out like my Sedona, my Sigma, or Delium. I have these a little bit more readily available in a cup versus the other ones I have neatly and nicely packed away so they can retain their shape and stuff. Not saying that I'm using the Elf brushes, but they have to stay in the cup. That's just, Elf brushes go in the cup, honey. And then the expensive ones go in a special case or special holder. You feel me? Because I just paid too much money for them to just kind of sit in the cup and collect dust and everything else like that. You know, I just think that for the longevity, if I pack them up and keep them nice and pristine, they'll last longer. Versus the Elf brushes, I can replace very easily. You feel what I'm saying? So I do recommend this kit for beginners. I recommend it also if you're on the go and you want an extra set of brushes to kind of just throw in your purse and kind of keep around just in case of emergencies. This is good too, but definitely for beginners. If you want a nicer set of brushes, if you're intermediate and up, or you feel like, hey, I've done everything, these are the type of brushes that I like and I want to make more of an investment, these are not the one for you, honey. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, rate, comment, subscribe if you like, and I will see you guys later. Bye.